I had my money ready in a bank and flight booked to Spain, and 3 real estate agents who promised to pick me up from the airport, book me a hotel and show me a dream properties in Alicante so that we can move there. Guess how many of those things actually happened? 0. Welcome to living in Spain, Mediterranean business style. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Libor and I'm busy father of 2 and husband to 1. And if I'm not chasing toddlers, I'm flying airplanes and fixing up our sailboat so that we can sail away, perhaps to Spain for the family adventure. But today I'm sharing my experience trying to buy a property in Spain and move there for the winter. Let's get into it. We had this dream idea, as almost everybody I know in the UK, about moving to Spain, at least for the winter, right? The properties are cheap, you can invest, move in for the winter and rent out for the summer to create some income. Well, we try to go into that direction and it's not simple as it sounds. When it comes to a property investment, most people only get one shot and it's important not to blow it. So here we go. Earlier this year, I was intensely scrolling on idealista.com, which is the Spanish equivalent of British Rightmove or American Zillow. And I also reached out to dozens of real estate agents in Alicante. All of them came recommended through the good references, and in the end I dealt directly with 3 independent agents, 1 Spanish, 1 British and 1 Czech guy. And all 3 were slow to respond and communicated almost exclusively via WhatsApp. I shared my plans with them, told them what I was looking for, when I'll be arriving to Alicante for a property hunt, and what my expectations were. I should really stress out at this point that they were 3 independent agents and they didn't know about each other, and 1 agent promised to book me a hotel, another said he would pick me up from the airport, and they all assured me that they would send me over some property listings in the meantime. All 3 of them, they all assured me that they would send me over some property listings in the meantime before I arrive so I can pick which one I would like to visit. And then nothing happened. Nothing. In a classic Mediterranean business style, none of what we agreed upon actually happened. I had to chase them constantly on WhatsApp, urge them to send me the listings and remind them what we had discussed previously. None of those 3 agents kept their word. There was no airport pickup, no hotel. I had my money ready to invest and nobody cared. Imagine how saturated the Spanish market must be with investors if agents act like they don't even need to try. I only assume that they've got a queue of clients outside their doors. Anyway, it was just simply worse than I expected. Now let's talk about the government-created obstacles to buying in Spain. First of all, there is a 10% property acquisition tax. This must be added to the purchase price. There are also additional fees, around 3,500 euros, for securing the foreigner identification number and also transferring the utilities. The foreigner identification number you must obtain before buying your property, and it may take up to 1.5 months. It's mandatory for foreigners, for foreign companies and individuals, and the only way around it is to set up a limited company in Spain, Sociedad de Responsabilidad Limitada. But it costs several thousand euros and the legal process is far more complicated than in Britain or in America. And also the Spanish authorities are not particularly business friendly, so it's a minefield for penalties. In any case, you need a Spanish bank account, which is required to complete any property transaction. And then there is a reservation deposit. If you say yes during a property viewing, you must immediately sign up a reservation agreement and pay 3 to 5,000 euros depending on the property price. Also, there are solicitor fees, usually over a grand, plus the VAT, and more fees. And did I mention the transfer fee for the electricity, water, and community fees? Look, in conclusion, the Spanish system is ready for foreign investors to bring their money because the properties are dirt cheap, right? And you get shown the nice pictures of beach, and then they are ready to squeeze you of every last euro you have. Where am I? Talking so much? I lost my track here. Oh, that way. Up. And once you acquire the property and you decide to set up an Airbnb, you might face more headwinds. The local council may limit the number of Airbnbs in the area. Also, if it's an apartment, your neighbors can block you from operating a holiday rental because there may be a case that there are too many Airbnbs on one floor. And if you are working with agency, it's a common problem that they are not honest with you about income and expenses. They keep money for themselves and the entire Airbnb is a rip-off. So, I don't like that. There are too many unknowns for me and the risk is too high and it's not responsible investing, is it? So I've decided to take my money elsewhere. Now a little disclaimer here. It's not a how-to video. This is me working on my goal and sharing my experience with you along the way. I don't have the capacity to create a comprehensive guide on how to live in Spain or how to buy a property in Spain. I'm way too busy, so besides everything, it's subjective. My aim with this video is to share what I've learned and hopefully start a constructive discussion with you about my experience so that we can learn something from each other, because curiosity leads to the truth. And when we are talking about important investment decisions, due diligence really matters. So what's next? I'll be probably renting in Spain this winter. Ideally, I can help someone with destination marketing thanks to my YouTube channel. Actually, it's pretty good idea, isn't it? If you have the rental property in Spain, I would love to hear from you. And I'm still willing to invest in Spain, by the way, but I want a reliable partner. No middleman, if you know what I mean. No intermediario. Besides, yo también hablo español, así que no tengo problema. Puedo hacerlo yo mismo directamente. So for now, I'm focusing on a new area, and that's Scotland. Especially places like Oban, where ferries arrive and depart frequently, where people need to stay for the night, and you can still find cheap apartments and residential buildings where I'm confident I can add value. Plus, the business etiquette in the UK is just better than Spain. But that's what the next video is going to be about. If you have a property in Spain, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear your story in the comments. And if you got a rental property in Spain, let's get in touch. I would like to put something together for the winter. Also, subscribe to my channel if you want to follow my journey. Real talk, no fluff. And I thank you for watching, and remember, invest with your head and not with your heart. This is Libor Smolik signing off.